how's our time? Almost dead on time. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all on frequency. This is ZA6YI operating running the DATV Sunday net. Not many people on today, which makes this a very short net, but all the same, we do welcome all those people watching on YouTube as well as on the DATV satellite, the QO-100 satellite itself. As usual, we do want to express our gratitude to the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to be on their satellite with our amateur satellite. We also acknowledge all the great work done by AMSAT DL, AMSAT UK, and of course the British Amateur Television Club. Indeed, an organization to belong to, as there's so much information at hand on their site, on their webpage, to be able to come onto DATV and enjoy this part of the hobby. Today, we don't have many people on. Let me just have a look-see. Okay, I better just change that. A second and it will be done. Right, we have Phil, Mike 0 PIT. He'll be next in line. And then Mike, Phil, you pass it to Nigel, Mike 9 November Tango Romeo, who's going to talk about building of a shack. And then Nigel, you pass it to Henry ZS6 MC. Nigel, I just hope you are monitoring your own signal, because last week twice you came up and we couldn't see. You had no video or audio, unfortunately. I'm sure you've sorted out that problem, but it's always a good thing just to monitor your own frequency and see what's going on. So that's all I have on the list today. It's a very, very, very small group of people on today. But let me just get the camera back on. Now, what the heck? There we go. That's me back on. Too many buttons to press today. Sorry about that, but now you can see what the signal looks like. And the system I'm running this end. Anyway, we're back on frequency. Right, so without further ado, let's see what Phil has to tell us today. If you would kindly take it, please, Phil. Mike 0 PIT from Zulu Sierra 6, Yankee, India. Mike 0 PIT.
Audio on. Right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all who are watching. Oh, got audio, let's kill that. Don't want a load of feedback, do we? What a lovely day here. I've been out in the garden this morning playing with my new project, which I should talk about. I've only put it together about half an hour ago. Put a few pictures together, so if it doesn't go well, and I just haven't really had a lot of time to prepare. That's my new project. Well, I'll say new. I've been working on it for quite a few weeks now. It's what is known as Whisper balloon. Whisper is a low power, it's radio amateur, and it's low power transmission, a very low power indeed. And a few years ago some guys decided to put one of these little very low power transmitters up in a balloon and see what how far they could get it. Well, anyhow, so let's have a look at these slides, which you might understand a bit more. Here we go. So this is the project. Pico balloons in amateur radio. Pico is a very small Raspberry Pi. And the idea is that you suspend one of these under a balloon, and you have some solar cells for panels, for power. So in real life, this is what it looks like. I think this is probably one that was done a long time ago. It was probably, I don't know, it might have been for 2 meters or whatever. It just doesn't, you've got a big payload at the bottom, which is a bit strange. But how it works is, I'm going to be using 20 meters. So you have a balloon filled with, well, we'll be using, there's 3 of us in the project, and we're all going to send up a balloon. The balloons, in our case, will be hydrogen, purely because we can get it. Helium that you can buy in like hobby shops for birthday balloons. That isn't pure helium. It actually contains 20% oxygen. And the reason for that is that the idiots who breathe it in so that they can talk like Donald Duck, they put the oxygen in to make sure that they don't pass out. But, so if you use it for like balloons, it's okay, but it's not as good as it could be. But we'll be using hydrogen. So this is the transmitter. This is a Raspberry Pi Pico. And on the back of it, which you may not recognise, on the back of it there's another piggyback board there. It's soldered directly to the Pico itself. That is the transmitter. That's got the PA on it. And the big square block there with a white label on is the GPS receiver. It will kick out about 20 milliwatts. The same, mine's going to be on 20 meters. So this is the other side of the Pico, and by the little antenna, which is the orange thing at the bottom, there is another little piggyback board there, and that piggyback board will give me air pressure and temperature. The idea is that this balloon is going to go off, and it's going to, if I'm lucky, potentially it's going to get up to about 40,000 feet. If I'm lucky. People have got it there. I'll be lucky if I can just get it to Europe. What are they? 40,000 feet. But that's the project. That's the balloon. You can't really see it, but it's all wrapped up in there. I've got 5 of these, and these are somewhere between 50 to 60 inches in diameter. That's not when they're inflated. That's when they're flat pack, if you want. Now the solar panels for power, I went away and I purchased some of these, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, because they will give me 4.5 volts at 70 milliamps. Now I actually need to when it's transmitting 77. So I thought, well, I can have 2 of these. Absolutely brilliant. Trouble was, when I got them back and I weighed them, they actually weigh 9 grams. Don't sound much, does it? But my target weight is about 6.5 grams. So, yeah. So that won't work. I've ended up buying these very, very thin film. There's 100 there. And they will give me, each one will give me, not that I'm going to use 100, I'm only going to be using 6, maybe 8, all depends upon weight. But each one will give me 0.5 volt at 400 milliamps. So 6 of those will give me 3 volts, which is enough for the Pico, enough current there. And I don't know, it all depends upon weight, because the total weight, this is, the idea was that I'm going to use these solar cells to charge a battery up, and I was going to use one of these, which is a lithium polymer battery. And I thought this is ideal, because very simple resistor and diode, etc. I can charge this up. And the trouble was that when I looked at the spec for a lithium polymer battery, at below zero it don't work. Not only does it not work, if you charge it at that temperature of below zero, it will actually destroy it. The temperature at 40,000 feet is somewhere about minus 40. so that won't work. And this is the what it looks like when it's finished. This is the power source. It won't have a battery on. I might put a super capacitor on it. I might. That all depends upon weight. Super capacitor will just give it enough current to keep it going for, shall we say, 10 seconds or maybe a bit longer, so that if the solar panels don't receive any light because of the shadow of the balloon or whatever, the the capacitor can just put that little bit of voltage, current, etc. onto the bus. And as you can see, the total weight of that is 6.3 grams. That printed circuit board you can see there that links everything together, and that's standard FR4, which is quite heavy. I have some very, very thin FR4 fiberglass, and I'm hoping that is going to enable me, because it's not going to weigh as much, it's going to enable me to put a couple more cells on it, and that's what I would like to do. So that's my little project. Let's go back to wide cam. There it is there. So that's my project that I'm going to do. I mean, it is, yeah, it's on the cutting edge of everything, because you're limited to weight, because you can't have big balloons and big batteries and stuff like that floating around. Because of for obvious reasons, when you're up there, you don't want a great big lump of metal going into an aeroplane or something. So we're governed by all sorts of regulations. But that's the plan of action. If we get there, I don't know, but it's certainly keeping me occupied. It's really been. Been a really. I haven't got it off the ground yet. We haven't even put any gas in the balloons yet. The actual whisper transmitter is actually built, and it's in the garden as we speak, and it is transmitting, but the antenna is basically just a piece of very long wire. It's not tuned, and it's sitting on a fence. So, 20 milliwatts, I'm not going to get far, but I have been seen over Europe from a couple of places, but it's early days yet. So anyhow, so that's my project. So I'm going to hand it over to you then, Nigel, so if you get prepared, etc. I'll put up a test guard, and then hopefully that you'll be able to, when I drop carrier, you'll be able to hit the satellite. So let's find a test card. There we go. Let's find a nice test card, shall we? Test card 2. Put that one on.
I do not see Nigel. Okay, I'm sure you'll come on the next over, Nigel. If you can get going, then we'll give you a chance just after Henry. Very good, by the way. Nice project. It was August last year. Tom sent up one, ZR6TW, is it? I don't even know what Tom's call sign is. I haven't seen him so long. It was also a 20-meter unit. It was August 25. Let me see. And his unit did about 2.5 laps around the world, all in the southern hemisphere. In fact, Ed picked it up, Papa Yankee 2 Echo Mike, and ZR6 Tango Golf. That's old Tom. And he had a lot of fun with that, I tell you. And it worked very well. All received all over. Many logs were put. So I can tell you it's a great deal of fun. The launching is the biggest deal of fun for those that aren't into radio. Anyway, let's see, Henry, or Wanda. Let's see if Nigel wants to take it. Nigel, if you want to take an over, please do so, and then you pass it to Henry from ZA6YI. Cometh not, please take it away there, Henry. ZA6 Mike Charlie. Cometh not.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, Gary. And it's good to be on DATV Net this Sunday. It's really good. Thank you very much. I just had to get all the audio sorted out. Didn't want the same thing to happen as happened last week. Anyway, there we go. Gary, thank you very much for hosting the net. Much appreciated. And this on the net this year, so that's a good thing. But anyway, it's good to see everybody that is on the net today, and also to all the people who are watching on YouTube. That's really very good indeed, and hopefully some of those people will be motivated to come on to DATV in due course. And especially on the South African side, if you need any help or you need any advice, you are most welcome to contact myself. And I'm sure Gary will also help, because Gary has helped just about everybody that I know on the satellite, especially on the narrow band as well. Okay, Nigel, sorry I didn't see you. Would have liked to have seen your shack progress, but that's not to worry. It's always the next time. So Phil, just to come back to your project, really, that's a fantastic project. I was I was fascinated by the 20% oxygen mixed with the helium, so the guys don't pass out. I never ever thought of that, to be very honest. But then again, I think I've only done a helium test once in my life, so I haven't gone for it in a big way, to speak like Donald Duck. Yes, that weight is 6.3 grams. So it's minuscule. It really is very light. So yes, I'm sure that you will attempt to keep it down to that particular weight. But what I really would like to know, because we've had quite a few people in South Africa who have done the balloon ZR6 Tango Golf in the Vereniging area, and normally it's a big plot of land from which the guys launch and then off it goes. I wonder where you'll be launching from, if it will be close to you or maybe from your own property, Phil. I'm quite keen to know from where you will be launching your balloon. And also, maybe on the next round, if there's another round, if you could explain, if you launch it in the Northern Hemisphere, does it just remain in the Northern Hemisphere? Because I know, for instance, with Tom's balloon, also ZR1 Whiskey Tango is very involved in our area called George, with launching balloons as well. And some of these balloons, I think they've launched 3 already, 3 sets. And they've gone round the world on the Southern Hemisphere side multiple times. And as Gary said, Ed picked it up, the guys in Australia picked it up, and everybody gives feedback when they hear the balloon. And in fact, it goes quiet after a while, and then suddenly it comes back on. I suppose that's when the battery gets charged up again. But anyway, I find it fascinating. I'll be honest with you. I don't have any major projects that I'm busy with, except in my case, I have a storeroom which I'm busy kitting out at the present moment. I've had the cement floor done now. So it is one of those self-leveling concrete floors. And once I'm finished with that, I'm going to put shelving in there and move a lot of my stuff that's in my shack. As you can see behind me, I'll be moving out because this shack I would like to just have for DATV and for QO-100 narrowband, as well as I want to learn how to do micro soldering. So I've got myself a camera already. I'm busy getting one of those tiny little Finersi HS02As from AliExpress to be able to do micro soldering, because I think although I've got a Weller and it's fully temperature controlled from 450 degrees C down to 0 just about, I think the tips are a bit too big, so I'm looking for something that's considerably smaller. And also, I want to use that particular area for SHF testing. So, in other words, to be able to transmit and receive SHF, to be able to do spectrum analysis, and of course to use a VNA to be able to look at different kinds of antennas. So that's my next project there. And then finally for DATV, my major project is I've bought myself a little ESP32 W rover, and I've got all the little sensors now, current sensor, voltage sensor, temperature sensors, and I want to actually put it all together. And my trouble is I think I'm reinventing the wheel. So if there's anybody that you know of that actually has got all the software already for a voltage sensor, a current sensor, temperature sensor for DATV, especially our amplifiers that we use, and of course power. I'll need to work out how to measure the power as well on the PA. But anyway, that's all part of the fun that I'm going to have. I've got one heck of a big heatsink, and I just want to have a look quickly to see what my temperature is like. Okay, I can't see that. I think that camera is actually frozen, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just trying to get my shack sorted out. As you know, I've been away for a long time, and I just want to slowly but surely get everything sorted out. And once I have space in my little shack, I will definitely be able to considerably more. Okay, that's enough from me. Gary, if I may pass it back to you, I'll pass it to Nigel. Nigel, if you are there, come in. Otherwise, I think it must just go back to Gary. Thank you very much. It was nice seeing you on the net, Phil, and of course Gary and whoever else wants to come up. So That's my story. Okay, so over to Nigel, if he is there. The CZ is 6.
Free test. M9 NTR come back. Silly me. We're ready to go. Got OBS all lined up. And what I forget to do is press the PTT button. I press start on the and then sitting there waiting for the beacon to to register. And silly plonker I am. I don't know, me Alzheimer's are getting a bit worse. I keep forgetting to do stuff, but hey, that's no. Anyway, zooming. Well, I can't see my picture, so I'm going to cut carrier. I didn't get. I'm not getting myself, so I'm going to cut carrier. Hand it back to Gary. You can report if I've got coming through or not. M9 NTR going back to net control.
Okay, here I am. Thanks, Gary, and hello to everybody there. I've missed Phil. I was busy unpacking the car when it was his over. I think it's dark here. It's raining and heavily overcast. But I got most of Henry's thing. Not everything. You're talking about SHF stuff now. My ears are up, because that's my field of playing. And Nigel, yes, you're coming through, beautiful, strong signal, good audio, excellent video, and then you cut off, then you're just gone. And a few seconds later you're back on, so you're going in and out, in and out. I don't know what is happening there. But anyway, thanks for letting me in. Yeah, I've just arrived back from Somerset West, visited my sister and her husband today. And yeah, it's raining on that side as well. So rain all the way. So Gary, back to you. ZS6YI for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Nigel, come and have a decent over. The bit we saw of you was perfect. And good audio, good, lovely video. So I'm happy you've got most of the things sorted. Just relax, come on and pop up the button and then you pass it to Phil. So if you don't mind, Nigel, Mike 9 November Tango Radio from ZA6 Yankee India.
Old age and having Alzheimer's is not having fun these days. Forgetting to press. By the way, we won't more bless on that or crib on that. I'll have to write myself an idiot like a check pilot list. Do that, do this, do that, and do that. And I should know bloody to press the PTT button, but I don't know. I just forgot. And Leon, that going in and out, I don't know what that is, mate. Because well, it's a loose cable I don't think it'd be a loose cable, but I don't know. Strange, I'll have to try it. But, I've got the picture this time. You know, like, have you even got a light on? Dare try the video, because I've got a bit of time. Let me see if I can do the video. Because I've got OBS camera going. I wanted to show you a video of my shack, what I built. You've seen it before, but it's just something to refresh people's. There's no sound, so. Shack being built. There you go, we'll transition over to that. See if it passes a few minutes. Let's see if it's going through. Yeah, it should be coming through now. So this was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I started building my shack. So we got, I shut up talking, but you can see what, knocked the old shed down and continued building the new one. Should go back to me hopefully. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, nice 4 minute or 5 minute long video about me building my shack. So hope you got it. I think I didn't quite catch who's after me. Was it Frank? After me. Frank, unfortunately, I can't pick you up for whatever reason. You're not coming through at this end. But I'll put a test card up and then hand it over to Frank. And hopefully you've all received the video. So I'll cut straight across to a test guard. Once it's come up, I'll cut carrier. There you go, Frank, over to you, sir. There you go.
Okay, let's have a look. Do I have audio? I'm waiting. Okay. Yeah, I do have audio. So, good afternoon to anyone watching the net at the moment. Quite unexpected. Here I am. Sorry for being a bit late. Simply because I was away. That can happen Sundays. Because Sundays most of the time are social here. Yeah. Okay, and Gary, thanks for coordinating and letting me in. And also thanks for hosting the net, Gary. Looking outside, we have a blue sky. It's wonderful. The temperature must be somewhere around 20 degrees at the moment. And that is not bad at all. So I heard Leon talking about bad weather. But here in the Netherlands at the moment it's great. Hopefully also tomorrow, because tomorrow it will be King's Day in the Netherlands. And all Dutch people will be celebrating. And then of course it's nice when the weather is nice too. Okay, let's have a look. I missed most of your transmissions. Again, apologies. So Phil, I missed all. But I can have a look at YouTube, which I will do. Nigel, I did enjoy the video of building your shack. Initially, I did not understand that you were going to talk about concrete and so. I did enjoy the front door and the back door in your shack. No, I love the video, Nigel. During your transmission, it happened a few times that I lost sync completely with your signal. And then, my receiver had to resync again. And Henry, also good afternoon to Henry. Henry, I only saw a little part of your transmission because the signal strength was too low. I could not receive you. At a certain moment I had the 0.2, 0.1 and then you disappeared completely. So I wasn't able to watch at your transmission either. Yeah. Okay, what happened here? First of all, one of the projects that I was working on, a friend of mine brought in a microwave from Panasonic, and perhaps you know them. In the Panasonic microwave ovens, there is this high voltage inverter, and the inverter had failed. So I thought, let's do it in a simple way. I ordered a new one on eBay. I received it quite soon, installed the inverter, and guess what happened? It failed immediately. It was a big bang, and then it was gone. So I did some investigation, and in these inverters, where is it? It's a mess here in the shack. That's horrible. Oh, yeah, here. Here it is. This is the heatsink, and if you watch the heatsink, there is a gate-driven transistor on it, really a powerful one, and it had a short circuit between collector and emitter, or drain and source. I do not know how you call that. So I did replace that one, but still the inverter did not want to work. It still failed, and that was related to a Zener diode on the board. That had become a resistor of 5 ohms. So I replaced that one too, and then suddenly the inverter worked again. So that really was good. I have many of them because I did repair many microwaves. So that is one of the projects that I worked on. Okay, and then there is another project because last week I was able to buy a battery system, a 5 kilowatt hour battery system with lithium, iron phosphate batteries in it. 5 kilowatt hours, that is quite a lot for a portable battery pack. But the guy who owned the battery pack before told me that he had stored it for quite a while and started to charge it, and then he heard a sound and there came a terrible smell out of the battery pack. So I did some investigation. And first of all, I learned that you can say new batteries were drained completely. And that's not good, of course, for this type of battery. So hopefully I'm able to revive them. I can understand it. The previous owner simply put the plug into the wall, and then he smelled that specific smell, and that comes out of the battery management board. And if you look here, then you can see that there are resistors on the board that burned out completely. I do not know the function yet, but I want to investigate, of course, whether I'll be able to recover that board. So that's what I'm working on now. Yeah, and what I also intend to do, as what I said, I intend to revive the batteries. Of course, if you drain those batteries completely and you measure simply 0 volts over the terminals, that is not good. That's not good at all. So I'm investigating what the best way is to revive those batteries, and I think that the best way that is simply to start charging with a really, really low current and to see whether the batteries come up again. And if they do, and they have the specified, let's say, terminal voltage per battery, that is also something to check, then perhaps I can start charging with a higher current. Hopefully the batteries revive, and otherwise I simply can throw the complete unit away. So that is the story from the Netherlands at the moment, in the Netherlands, and hopefully in the second over I will be able to receive you all. I hand over to Gary now, and then Gary can determine who will be the next in the net from Papa Echo number 1 Alpha Victor Papa. I'll try to show my test card.
Okay, very good, Paul. Excellent signal from you. Absolutely no problem to copy. And you guys have been busy. I was busy just a little bit earlier. I got a nice UHF set of cavities, cavity resonators for a repeater from Leon, ZS1 Mike, and in excellent brand new condition. So I thought, right, let me now tune them up for our repeater frequency, and got very good results. A very, very low insertion loss. But Leon had tuned them to another frequency. But Leon, there was a very strange anomaly that on the transmit frequency, if you look at the slope, you were on the wrong slope. And it was inverted. I think you must have got confused like I do at times when I'm tuning them up one by one. It was the actual other way around. So at first I thought you put the labels on incorrectly, but you didn't. So anyway, I got the right end of the slope, and then I could notch out, and I sent you the results on WhatsApp. And very, very good results indeed. I've been trying to see how I'm going to get this WhatsApp photo on here, but I'll do that in the next over. I'm sure I'll get it, and then I can I can then put it on, and you guys can see what we were up to. But yeah, all 6 cavities tuned up very, very quickly. Once I saw where the error was, I sorted it out nicely, and they tuned up beautifully with very low insertion loss. And each individual cavity had about 45 dB suppression with an insertion loss of around about 0.2 dB. So it wasn't bad at all. Excellent, in fact. So yeah, so that's another set tuned up nicely, and as a spare if the other one gives trouble. And they have given trouble in the past. I've had lightning strike, knocked out 2 M-type adapters or chassis mounts, and they turned into carbon. So I had to replace them, and that was a bit of a mission, because they all pop riveted together, as you saw there, Leon. But I did, and got very good results. So all's good. Right, with that, let's see, Phil. Yeah, I've also got some nice photos from old man Tom's balloon experience. Yeah, he did about 2 or 3, I think it could have even been 3 revs, but it's all in the southern hemisphere. It doesn't seem to cross the equator. It depends, I suppose, where you launch from. But it was great fun, and he was getting a lot of reports all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, as it passed over. And believe this or not, it almost went right overhead from where it was launched. Very close. It was phenomenal. Great excitement. And then a couple of months later, the Sasolburg Radio Club also sent up a balloon, and quite successful as well. It went all over. But and Tom was measuring the height and the temperatures and so forth. And I think he did have a battery on board so that it could keep transmitting during the nighttime hours, or when it was not in the vision of the sun, put it that way. It's nighttime to who? Wherever it was going over at that time. And so, yeah, I don't know what type of battery he used, but it worked. That was great. So it's a lovely project, and it's ideal to get a bunch of school guys together, and then they find this fascinating. Talking about that, I had a youngster here yesterday. It's actually my nephew. It's my sister's child, and he's been keen on looking at amateur radio. He's very young. He's 10, but highly intelligent little chap, and he asks really good questions. Anyway, I had a nice chat with King, G8KOE, and it was really great because he could show his face over the satellite, so that was very good. Anyway, all good fun, man. And hopefully, yeah, I got a little kit to build an FM receiver. Nogal quite a sophisticated thing. It's got preset programs and all. It's a nice little kit. It costs a lot, but anyway, so Leslie has volunteered to help him build it. So that's a good to have these 2 youngsters each having a hand at stuff. And then Nigel, gee whiz, man, that shack, that's nice. You've done a great job, and the installation, you've done a good job there. And it came through very well, good clear pictures with the lettering and the wording behind, so no problem copying you. And that was nice. I actually like that type of thing. Reminds me of, who was the other guy now? Fox Kilo, FKK. He built or was building a shack, so I don't know how far that's come. I haven't seen him for ages. Anyway, to you, Phil, Mike 0 PIT ZA6YI.
Yeah, let's turn the audio down. Otherwise we're going to end up with a load of feedback, which I'm sure you don't want that. Funny thing, my audio's a bit low. What's that like? Still a bit low. Interesting. Wonder why that is. Anyhow, we'll persevere. Yeah, right. Questions. Well, first thing, what I'm going to do, because a couple of you guys, like Paul, etc., and Leon, didn't see my first over. I'm not going to give a long commentary. I'm just going to whiz through the pictures, so they have an idea of what I've been up to. This is my project. It's basically a little low power transmitter on a balloon. That's what it might look like when it's finished. This is a transmitter. It's a Pico with a little amplifier board on the back of it and GPS as well. It's also got another piggyback board on the front of it, and that will measure air pressure. That's the balloon I purchased, which is 60 inches in diameter. It's a solar cell that weighs too much, and these are the solar cells that I shall be using for the power. This was a battery that I was thinking of using, but up at 40,000 feet the temperature is so low this will not work at all, and if I charge it, it will actually destroy it. It's a lithium polymer battery, so that's a no-no. This is the power pack, the solar panels, and as you can see there, that weighs 6.3 grams. Right, I'm going to find there we go. So that's back to me. So that's the project. Going to be using hydrogen, because I can get my hands on hydrogen, so we should be using that. And some questions. Henry, when we're going to launch it? We're going to launch it, can't do it from my back garden, I'm afraid, because the antenna for 20 metres, it's going to be half the wavelength dipole. And what that means is that there will be something like about 5.2 metres of 32 gauge wire, and that is rather small diameter wire, to say the least, and there's going to be 5.2 metres of it. And then you will have the Raspberry Pi, the Pico, and then there is another 5.2 metres of the same wire. And it's a very tricky, delicate operation to launch it, because the last thing you want is to rip the antennas off. So it'll be done from quite a high field where there are no obstacles nearby, i.e. trees, pylons, cables in the air, etc., etc. So it will be within about 10 miles of where I live. So that's the plan of action. And my understanding is that if you launch it in the northern hemisphere, it will stay there roughly, and it won't go over to the southern, and vice versa. That's my understanding, but I will stand corrected. And as for the battery, having a battery in there, that is big problem, because one is the temperature. Because if you're up at 40,000 feet, that's about minus 40. So lithium ion, my understanding, will work, but they're probably less than half their rated value at that temperature. I do have on order some tiny little lithium ion cells, and these cells weigh 5.5 grams each. That might be too heavy, but the plan will be hopefully to use one of those, and up there it will probably give me something like about, with those type of temperatures, I reckon about 50 milliamp hour. That's what I reckon. It's all experimental. It probably won't work. It will probably, on launch, the antenna will fall off or something. It's a very difficult thing to do. Everything's got to be so lightweight because you can't have a massive, great big balloon or whatever. So yeah, it's weight is the big problem, and the weight of my payload, the target weight for everything, excluding the balloon, is, I reckon, 15 grams. That is my target weight, 15. So you can imagine that an extra couple of grams here, extra couple of grams there, it's going to be problematic, because the more weight you have, the more gas you need in the balloon, and there is less space for the gas to expand when you're up at 40,000 feet. Too much gas means that the balloon will explode, and down it will all come. End of project. So anyhow, so that's the plan of action. Now, Henry, you did ask about software. What has been, if anybody has done it before. I have done it. I have got some software. I think I don't know, I think I did rewrite it for an ESP32. I think. But I've certainly got it on an Arduino, which is what I am running now. I'll just show you what it looks like. Let's get a wobbly cam. If I can find it. Eagle cam, here we go. So that's the screen. And as you can see, well, I can turn this one on. And this one, OGS 1, is the cabinet fan, so I can actually turn it off and then turn it back on again. If you would like a copy of the, if you would like a copy of my program, drop me an email, and I'm more than willing to email it to you. It does the job. I've been running it like this for quite some time, I don't know how many years, 2 years, and it works. I wanted to go over to an ESP32 because it's faster. I am not a programmer. I know nothing about web pages, etc., etc. And this has been built with a web page that uses HTML. If that could be rewritten for Java, it would be a lot faster. But that's beyond my pay grade, I'm afraid. I know nothing about Java. So anyhow, so that's enough of me. Who's next on the list? Nigel. Good transmission, etc. You managed to get there, absolutely great. And you did drop out a couple of times, but I'm glad that you made it. Writing a cheat sheet down. You're not the only one who needs it, because I need it as well. There's mine. It's not a cheat sheet to run DATV. It's a cheat sheet to do with my balloon project. But anyhow, right, I'm going to put up a test card, and then it'll be over to you then, Nigel. Let's have a look at me test card, if I can find it. Let's put up a wobble test card. I do like a wobble test card. Reminds me of the old days of analog television.
One, two, three. I'll just turn the sound down in my headphones. Thanks, Paul. Turn it the other way. There we go. That's it. Yeah, thanks, Phil. Sorry, Paul. Phil, yeah. And I forgot to comment about your balloon expedition. Very interesting. We had a talk at our radio club some 6 years ago, and a chap was doing a talking about, did a video, and I forget the word now, video, and a talk on balloons and whatnot, and he had his on in a polystyrene box. I think about, I don't know, I've been estimating probably 12 inches, could be less, but whether he had a bigger balloon, I don't know, but he certainly was very interesting, and yeah, it's hats off to you, my friend, you know. I've all on doing what I'm doing now to try that, I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. And what's Henry? Sorry, Henry, I didn't get any of your transmission. Leon, I got yours all right. Paul, yeah, and obviously with Simon to come yet. But yeah, I don't know what's something slightly amiss at mine, whether I've got too many filters on the receive, because I've got a few filters on the receive side. Whether I'm over filtering it, I don't know. But you kept every fourth word, sixth word, Gary, you was dropping out for a second. You're normally pretty good, pretty strong now. Whether my my MER or my LMB has moved, I don't know, but it's something's not quite right. But we'll find out. It'll get right at the end of it. Keep practicing. So yeah, that's about it for me, because I've started to waffle now, and that's not very good to waffle. So I'm going to pass it over to Henry, ZS 6 Mike Charlie. Stand by, Henry, and sorry, I don't know if you can put some more coal on the fire so I can receive you, but if not, I'll have to look back on YouTube later. So I put a test card up, and hand it over to Henry shortly. And thank you very much, Gary, for running the net as always. I just wait for the test card to come in, the return signal. There you go. Okay, this is Mike 9 NTR. Hand it over to ZS6 Mike Charlie Henry and the Worldwide Net. Thank you very much. I watched till the end, but this last one.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you, Nigel. Just take my headphones off. I could hear that I had audio. And yes, great stuff. And Nigel, it's because I'm slightly off frequency. I don't know if you can actually hear me now. I did increase the output power, but I am slightly off frequency, and that's my problem. But I should have that rectified this week. I'm going to put the GPSDO in place of the TXCO on my Pluto. So that's what I'm going to do. Just see if anybody is trying to get hold of me quickly. So there we go. Patience with me. Okay. So from that point of view, excellent net. Really enjoyed it very much. Definitely, Phil, I'll send you an email and then you can send it to me. I specifically am looking for ESP32, so I'll see what I can do to actually manipulate it. But as you rightly said, and as I rightly know, I'm not a software person. So from that point of view, I'll have to go through the whole thing and just have a look and see how I can adapt it to my situation. So Well done on the Pico balloon, very much so, and thank you for giving me feedback. I've actually learned quite a lot today with regards to the Pico balloons. I'm a real novice at it, so please, please accept my apologies. Nigel, yes, excellent job done on your shack. Really, very, very nice. And I think you can actually go and sit in it and not worry about the weather. I see it is pretty well insulated, and everything looks pretty well done. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. That's for sure. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do here on my side. I've got some waterproofing to do as well, and that I'll have to do that next week. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, got most of it sorted out. And also, I got some electrics to do within the room. And I've got an electrician coming. Although I prefer the electrician to do it, and then I can get what they call a COC, Certificate of Compliance, which is needed by most buildings when you do electrical work in it. Okay, Paul, Nigel, thanks once again. Paul, yes, my signal most probably disappears because I'm off frequency. So hopefully you can just get some of my syllables and then lock onto my frequency. I use QuickTune, and I lock on via QuickTune, and then my signal is quite good. No problems in being able to transmit. So please have a look at that. Leon, okay. What I was trying to tell you, Leon, is that you remember I phoned you and I asked you about what they call a VNA light, a light VNA. What I did get hold of one for myself, and now I've got a tiny SA as well, a spectrum analyzer. So it's really very basic stuff. I don't have anything as specialized as you do, but it is for me to be able to measure power. I've got a little test bench here where I've got two 30 dB couplers, which can give me 60 dB. So obviously I can look at the power out of the power amp and all those kind of things, and I can measure what these preamps are doing before they go into the power amp. So yeah, that's what I'm busy with. I just want to get my setup going completely, and then I also want to be able to learn how to do micro soldering. I'm really not an expert on that, and I really, at my age, I do want to learn how to do it. And I know there are so many people that are experts on it. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, I've got a little microscope which I can use as well now. So the idea is to have a little workbench where I can do all this kind of things. Anyway, Gary, thank you very, very much. And it is really very nice for you to run a net for us. We do appreciate it always. And I think this will be my last round. I will not be coming back. Maybe just comment to Paul about his inverter, Klystron, whatever it is. Paul, with any SM, what do you call it? SMTP, not SMTP, but any sort of switch mode power supply. That's what I'm looking for. SMPS. It's always the Zenas that go, and there's a resistor that goes. I mean, I have fixed this one of mine 100 times over, and I've decided now it blew up again. I'm just going to take it, chuck it in the bin. I've had enough of it. But there are high power thyristors and power MOSFETs that do pop. And I managed to get some from overseas, but now I'm just tired of doing that. So good luck to you. Have fun. I'm sure you'll get it right, Paul. That's for sure. All right. I think that's enough of me. Have a very good week, guys. As they say in Portuguese, bom fim de semana. You had a good weekend. Now may you have a good week. So all the best, and we'll speak again. Thank you so much, Gary. Hope to see you next weekend again. So, Paul, over to you. Sorry, Leon, it goes to you. My apologies. ZS1 Mike, and the net. This is ZS6 MC wishing you all the best for the week ahead. Bye now.
Okay, thanks, Henry. And yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those whom I haven't greeted yet. Okay, Gary, firstly on you, don't disappear, Henry. Yeah, I never swept the cavities individually. I just did the receive section and the transmit section, and yeah, I noticed that the one slug was acting a bit funny, but I didn't bother. I got some results, and I said, okay, it makes the amateur band. That was my only concern, so I really didn't optimize it. So. But I'm glad that you've found that it is perfectly tunable and so on. Yeah, I have another 2 of those. So if I ever be so crazy to put up a UHF repeater, at least I can help myself there. Okay, Phil. The balloon. Yeah, we cannot do that here, what you're doing in South Africa. It's highly forbidden. They used to do it, but now you are forced to have a transponder on board. They used to put APRS on it, small little thing, and you could relay it through to the air traffic control, but no, not anymore. And I remember that Tom spoke to me when they were working on their first one. And they had to get one of those S-mode transponders type things. And they are frightfully expensive. But anyway, for you, Paul, what you need, not Paul, yeah, Phil. You need this. Let me just clear the background. You need one of these batteries. And they cost nothing. It's lithium. I'm not sure whether it's polymer. It's a hard thing and it's cylindrical. 550 milliamp hours, and I just weighed it. 10.7 grams. So maybe it's a touch heavy for you, but it's 550 milliamp hours, and they cost nothing. You know where I get them? These electronic vape things that the kids smoke. You get disposable ones, and this is the battery from those things. So I'm collecting. There's a shop in the mall where they have bins where they chuck these things in. When they're finished, you can't refill them or anything. So I strip them and I get these batteries, and it's a lithium rechargeable battery. It's got a hell of a current capability. I mean, if you short the wires, it burns, it smokes, and red hot. They charge them in the factory and fill the little tank thingy with it, smoking oozy stuff. And then the guy uses it. I don't know how long they use it until the juice is finished. And then they chuck it away. There's nothing wrong with the battery. When I get it, it's still over 3 volts. I charge them up, and they are just wonderful. So at the moment, I think I've used 1 in a meter movement of mine to turn a 10 milliamp full scale meter to 100 microamps, a little op amp driven off this. But they are fantastic. And you get them for free, for nothing. You must just find out who smokes those disposable vapes. Okay, that is full with his balloon and the battery. Yeah, I wish we could do that here, but oh, we have so much problems with the air traffic control. Henry, off frequency, forget about it. You must look somewhere else. We are working on a wideband system. If you're off by 10 k's, it's not going to make that much difference to the reception. I don't have a problem with anybody's reception here. And except for Nigel, who had a couple of dropouts, but his last couple of overs on himself was seamless. When he played the video, there were a couple of breaks, but then after that, again, it was fine. And the signal strength is very good. So if you're having, or if people are having problems with your signal, well, I don't have. Then I don't know. But off frequency, running off a Pluto, impossible. A Pluto must be broken to be that far off frequency that mini tune won't lock on it. If you're talking SSB narrowband stuff, then it gets critical, but not for video. No, not at 333. Maybe if you're running that super narrow stuff, which I'm not interested in. Okay, that's Henry. And all noted on your power measure. He says, yes, yeah, I also have that the little spectrum analyzer. What do they call it? And I just got the nice big 7-inch network analyzer. Now I don't have to plug it into a PC to see what's going on because the screen is so small. That thing is nice. And it's all touch control, and it's got N-type connectors. It really works well. I'm surprised. Of course, they're all slow. The sweep is rather slow and so on compared to the proper instruments. But it's nice and portable, and you can check out your feeds and stuff on the antennas and so on. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, that's full. Gary, Nigel. Yeah, no, Nigel, yeah, I've seen your shack build before, but yeah, it's well done. I must still, well, fortunately I don't have to build the building, but I mean, this is the temporary setup in the dining room, in the corner of the dining room. Gary knows what it looks like. It's terrible. I must still build one of the bedrooms, turn it into a proper ham shack. But before I can do that, I want to refurbish the whole house inside. Yeah, well, what I've been doing the last week is to sort out my entire valve stock. And it's all been repacked and labeled properly, all the thousands of valves. Gee whiz, I was working late nights. I did all my chemicals. They all sorted and bottled and labeled and stuff. And then I did the valves, and that's all done now. I finished yesterday, last night, with I think was the last couple of valves that I sorted and put in boxes and labeled and so on. So now I must, but the weather's bad now, I don't know. But I phoned the builder yesterday, and tomorrow is public holiday, but he said he'll come and make a turn here tomorrow, just after 10. He knows that he mustn't bother me before 10. And because I want 3 doors replaced, outside doors with proper modern doors. So we're working on it. One day we're going to have a proper ham shack with nice studio lights and not cluttered like this, and a PC there just for playing back videos and so on. So yeah, you guys are going to get bored with all the stuff I'm going to show you. Okay, Nigel and Paul. Okay, very interesting. The inverter, yes, I've also fixed one of those for a friend of mine in Bredasdorp. On his one, there's 2 high voltage Schottky diodes on that thing for the rectification, and his diodes went. Fortunately, the inverter didn't die, it was just screeching. I couldn't get those diodes in South Africa, so I ordered them from China, replaced them, perfect. Microwave oven is working 100%, so he's very happy. The battery, yeah, you get some people doing funny things, putting mains onto a lithium battery. It's not good news if the cells, if you can get to the individual cells and if they measure 0 volts. I don't have much hope. I've got a whole garage full of those batteries and they're lovely. You didn't say whether it was a 12 volt one or whether it was a 48 volt pack. I've got a lot of 48 volt packs, and I chop them up with my little Dremel tool, because it's all welded together, the aluminium jumper straps. I cut it with a Dremel and separate them, and I ordered on eBay the management boards for a 12 volt pack, and my whole shack runs off that. All my HF radios and my VHF and UHF radios run off that battery pack. It is 200 amp hours at 12 volts, well, 13 point something, and it's behaving beautifully. There's just no end on those batteries if you treat them well. Yeah, that board that you've got there, you get the basic one, which is just for balancing the cells, because they are very voltage critical. So especially when you're charging them, it checks the cell that's a bit high, it brings that down, and the lower ones, it boosts that. It takes a long time, but yeah, it manages the cells. It's not like a lead acid where you could just charge it and it'll automatically share roughly. Those things, 0.1 volt over and it's gone. They self-destruct. And then you get the better ones, which monitor the incoming voltage, and when the battery gets up to the maximum charge level, it disconnects the charger altogether. And also on the output side, it'll let you use the battery, and when it gets to the minimum charge level, it also disconnects the load. That's a proper management system that you want. They're freely available on eBay, many Chinese shops and so on. And those are the ones that I buy. They work very well. You get them for lithium ion, and then for lithium iron phosphate, which is a lower voltage. It's not 3.7 volts per cell, it's 3.3 volts per cell. And then you also get them for lithium polymer. So yes, I hope the best way. Oh, another thing, those batteries don't like slow trickle charging. Where you charge them. Now I agree with you, just see if you can polarize the cells one at a time. Depending on the amp hours of a cell. It sounds like fairly large cells if you say it's 5 kilowatt hours, but again, you didn't mention the voltage. But wake it up with at least 2 or 3 amps on a controlled power supply, which you've set to about 3.5 volts, and watch it. There should be zero temperature increase in the cells. Those cells don't generate heat, they stay cold. Right down from 0 to fully charged. They should not increase temperature. If there's a temperature rise, you know it's shot. But that's the best way to wake them up. But yeah, if it's at 0 volts, it doesn't sound. Probably that controller with the mains coming in, everything went short, and it shorted out all the cells and drained them to 0. So it hasn't been standing too long. You have a slim chance of reviving them, but if it's been standing for a couple of months, no, you can chuck the whole lot. You won't wake them up. But yeah, they are fantastic, absolutely fantastic, those batteries. But you have to look at them, look after them very well. If you have a good management board on them, they reckon 21 years lifetime at least. Okay, that's Paul. I think I've done it all. Yeah, I think everybody I've done. So I must now give it to Paul. Yes. Papa Echo 1, Alpha Victor Papa, from ZS1 Mike.
Check audio. Yeah, it seems to work again. I will give a bit more power. That makes it more convenient for those watching. Okay, well, this was excellent, the second over, because I was able to receive everybody. Quite good, and also good afternoon or good evening to Simon. You added yourself on the list, I see. You've been walking the dog, or the dog was walking you. That could also be, of course. Okay. Coming back to the previous transmissions, first of all, Gary, congratulations with the cavity resonators, the insertion loss of 0.2 dBs. That is not bad at all. And then, youngsters building FM receivers, that is really nice. Phil, thanks for showing the pictures again. Interesting project that you're running to build a transmitter with a tiny pico on a balloon. And you are running that in the 20 meter band, I understood. Okay, the battery solution is there. That is what Leon showed. Leon has always these interesting stories. Yeah, that is something you simply do not know, is it? That these vapes are provided with lithium batteries that you can even charge. Excellent. Was a good idea. Yeah, and I was thinking about the hydrogen as the gas in the balloon. You must be careful. At least that's what I think. Okay, Henry, your transmission this time was excellent. In the previous transmission, your signal strength was low. That was the problem, and not the fact that you were not completely on frequency. That indeed was no problem whatsoever. But in the second over, yeah, your transmission, I could receive you with nearly D 2.0, so no problem whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, the GPSDO. I'm also driving my Pluto with a GPSDO, but as what Leon said, I do not know whether it is really necessary to do so. But okay. I had a GPSDO, built it into the cabinet together with the Pluto, and then you're on frequency. Yeah, congratulations on the VNA and your tiny spectrum analyzer. It's always good to have measurement equipment in the shack. It helps a lot and makes our hobby yeah, much nicer, at least to my opinion. You were talking about micro soldering. Yeah, I'm not an expert, I can say, but it must be 2 or 3 years ago, where I bought a infrared welder, and my recommendation would be do not buy that, or buy a really good one, but not let's say the cheap Chinese products, because I never have been able to get really good results with that. Then a normal heat gun, yeah, that's something that I also have. I prefer that a lot. A good one that is temperature controlled. Oh yeah, and you are tired of switch mode power supplies. I must admit that switch mode power supplies do provide you with quite a lot of trouble. I always am repairing them again and again and again. Because the efficiency is high, of course, and they are small. That's the advantage, of course. But furthermore, I do agree. I also sometimes get tired. I must admit that the Meanwell power supplies never go. I really have good experience with those. Yeah. Leon, I noticed that it is not warm in your shack. I watched your clothes, and I think it's quite cold. Okay, talked about the lithium batteries in the vapes. Really interesting. Yeah, the valve stock, the inverter diode, that is what you were talking about. Yes, indeed. You can see them here on the inverter. You see that there are 2 of these diodes on the transformer. Yeah, and if they fail, there's only one solution, of course, and that is that you replace them. I always stock the old inverters to be able to get some, let's say, components of the board if I want to repair another one. That is the way in which I do it. But I also have to get rid of some because I've got a pile of them. Yeah. Okay. And thanks for your recommendations regarding the battery pack. I do not know the name of the cells. I think the name of the cells is parametric cells. They are 100 amps per cell. And it's a stack of indeed, I think, about 50 volts. At least that is what it should be, but as stated, the cells now have a voltage of 0 volt, so they are completely discharged. That is a pity. I will try the procedure that you talked about, Leon, and hopefully next time I will be able to report on what happened. Hopefully I'm able to revive it, and otherwise, it's a pity. It's a waste then, and it means that I spent €100 on a thing that I will never be able to use. But at least I learned then for €100. That's also important. Okay. I hand over to Simon. Simon, again, thanks for developing the DATV software. It's running on another PC here on the side. I know that you're still working on the, version 1.1 release. I simply wait for that before, let's say, installing the latest software version, Simon. But I'm following it. And I'm even working with it, and I enjoy it a lot. Thanks. Okay, Simon. First of all, wish you a nice week, and hopefully until next week. I hand over to Simon after showing my test card.
Just waiting for images to appear. Just waiting to see my sound. There we go. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, G4ELI. I was out with the dog. He demanded an afternoon walk to his favourite gardens for an ice cream. So, Paul, this is in fact what will be version 1.1, unless during the week find problems with it. Been doing some work to get around a few features of OBS Studio and some webcams, and I'm actually running it at the moment. I've added a lot of resampling options. For anyone using OBS Studio will know you have one output resolution. Well, I'm using a video resizer which is in Windows, and so I can now offer any width and height, any aspect ratio. Well, not any aspect ratio, that's wrong, but any image size. And in fact, been testing this down at 125 kilosamples per second. And once I get version 1.1 released, I'll take a break. But when I come back, I'll get this running, so you'll be able to use it at 66 kilosamples a second. So that's what I'm testing at the moment. I'm not planning anything else for QO-100 use. There will be some additional features for terrestrial use. I will not be adding DVB-T, but just the ability to run narrowband television. The balloon thing is interesting. I live close to Culdrose Naval Base, which is the biggest helicopter training base in Europe. And I would not be allowed to put balloons up like that. The helicopters fly overhead doing their training. They have beautiful Rolls-Royce engines in them. The sound is actually absolutely glorious to hear. It really is. So there we go. Nothing more from me. Thanks for running the net, Gary. And I'll try and make a point of getting in by... It's currently... What time is it here? It's 5:30 in the afternoon. So I'll make a point of trying to get in by about, say, getting on for 5 o'clock so I can take part in the second round. But don't forget, we have the BATC net on Thursday evenings on the satellite, and I'm sure there will be no objections to people coming on from absolutely anywhere. So, with that, over to you, Gary. I won't be bothering with test cards and things like that. From myself and You can actually just see a bit of the hairy hound down there in his basket. Name's George.
Hi, Simon. Nice to see you again. And a cracking signal and excellent audio, in my opinion. So it's certainly working like a dream. And I've been watching Martin, G8KOE's signal, doing very, very good work. And he's using your system, and rock solid and great audio and really high definition TV from Martin. So all good. Yeah, just to quickly go back to the cavities, I managed to do something. Let's see, cavity Leon. Let's play a slideshow. Okay, I forgot to add the microphone. So while it was playing, I could have told you what's going on. Anyway, a single cavity is about 0.2 dB insertion loss for about a 44, 45 dB rejection, which isn't bad at all. Okay, Leon, yeah, you did say that you just quickly tuned them up, so I see what you did. But they work like a dream, and it's so easy to tune them up. It didn't take long. Between lunch and all, it was quite quick and painless, so that's that. And working very well. Right, with that, I don't know if I'll be on next Sunday, to be honest. I'm going to the South African Radio League AGM down in Port Elizabeth, and I get a flight back at about 10 o'clock, I think, on the Sunday morning, because they have their gala dinner the evening. So it's about an hour and a half flight, and traffic and all this jazz, so I might just be in time to run the net. I hope so. Failing which, we'll have to ask someone else to run it, but I'll see if Henry could maybe do it, or whoever is willing to run the net if I'm not available. But yeah, that's next week. And yeah, Paul, we also have a public holiday tomorrow. I think they call it Freedom Day. Freedom for who, I don't know, but definitely not for a small population. But I won't talk politics. But yeah, there's this Freedom Day thing. Is when the country was given to the majority, and yeah, anyway. So at least it's a day off. And I had a very anxious moment this weekend. On Friday, we're busy with a new tool for Toyota, new mold. They're coming up on Tuesday, or Tuesday, to come and have a look, see how it's molding. And from Friday, about 11 o'clock, no electricity right through until 10 minutes ago. It was a mission to get the local municipality to work. They don't want to work overtime anymore because they don't get paid. Oh, geez. Anyway, I believe it was a cable fault, so they sorted it eventually. And it came on just now, so I have to get a crew back tomorrow to carry on the tooling. They were busy spark eroding when the power went off. Oof. Makes it very, very horrible weekend, worrying about this. And I do normally have a big generator, which I've taken to the other factory. So that factory also has to run an urgent job. So it ran because that factory was also without power, it's the whole area. Anyway, that's my misery for the weekend. I wish you guys a very nice week. I'm going to close the net, I think. And it's been very nice seeing everybody on. Phil, good luck with your project. Nigel as well in the shack. We look forward to the next episode. Henry, you know what, Henry? You can adjust your Pluto crystal. You can adjust its frequency. There is a way to go into it, and then you just adjust it until you're on frequency. You are quite a bit off, And as Leon says, the bandwidth is wide, but I have to sometimes tune onto yours too. So you're just a little bit on the low end. But anyway, it's you can actually pull that oscillator because you're dead stable once you're on. So if you can just pull your oscillator, you might not need to put the GPS in. I run everything on GPS, disciplined oscillator from Leo Bodner. Excellent stuff, excellent service, and nice guys to do business with. So that's a quick advert for Leo. He's a nice guy. Anyway, and yeah, Simon, yeah, I had to laugh at Paul's comment. Who was taking who for the walk? But you said it's George there. Hello, George. I hope the ears don't pick up. And all good. It's nice to have a bit of exercise, I'm sure. So with that, I'm going to throw the ball in the air. Wish everyone a very happy week. And we see you guys next week, all being equal. From ZS6YI, now closing net. 7-3 all.
Okay, yeah. Hello.